Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What's your toxic trait that you're proud of? I can detach from people pretty easily. How do you do that? Asking for a friend. Start preparing as soon as you meet them. Abusive childhood and abandonment issues. EZ. Personally, I go into this weird state where I become very clinical and detached from reality when I need to rearrange my emotional attachments manually. It's similar to the feeling of being in shock, except it's on purpose. You go back to the empty dark place you've grown familiar with your whole life. I guess it's a fucked up form of meditation. Edit. I do have a mental health team. I haven't done this in years. I'm doing okay. Edit 2. If you do this too, I would highly recommend meditation. It has a similar process, except it's actually healthy. I tell each of my cats that they're my favorite behind each other's backs. You're sick. Can't even look at myself in the mirror tbh. I am militantly aloof. I can work with people for years and never make the slightest bit of connection. I just sort of go about my business. I once worked with a guy for 3 years and never learned his name. Best friend I ever had. We still never talk sometimes. Ron Swanson. They're definitely people I've called friends, who I've worked with. I know about their life, their kids, their parents, problems, triumphs, etc. I just don't remember the names. So bad with names. I'm an Olympic gold medalist at procrastination. I thrive under self-inflicted time crunches. I can't perform at a high level without it. I've always had good grades. I'm successful at what I do. I'm proud that my secret hasn't held me back. I also absolutely hate this and wish I could change. If it's a problem today, it'll be a problem tomorrow. And if it's a problem tomorrow, there is no reason to worry about it today. If tomorrow isn't the due date, then today isn't the due date. I'm really good at being alone. That's not toxic at all. Tell that to his wife and kids. I wouldn't say it's toxic, but it's scary how much I can love someone and never speak to them again. Holy shit, I literally thought I was the only person on the planet like this. It's super easy for me to get close to people and eventually love or be in love with them. But if something goes horribly wrong and I basically have to forget they existed, it's done with relative ease. Do you ever reflect on it? And, if you do, how does it feel? When I think about people I used to know, it feels like I'm remembering something from a movie I watched. It doesn't feel like my life even though I know it is. I obsess over things and it leads to a lot of social anxiety and difficulty focusing in most social situations. It's also, however, led to me finding some deeply meaningful skills and hobbies. Hey, me too, except for the meaningful skills and hobbies part. My therapist called hyper-focusing the worst superpower. You're super aware and present in how your actions and words may be perceived, but also so caught up in not coming off the wrong way that you totally lose focus on important things. Like what the person is actually saying back to you. LMAO. I clean when mad. The more cleaning. I clean when stressed. It has helped at parties before. I was at one once when a fight broke out and I just instantly started grabbing cans and recycling. Wiping up spills. Making the place look nice again. It was a small structure and the action was taking place right outside, so when people came back it was like starting the party all over again. Lol. Throwback to high school when the parent of the kid throwing the party walked outside the morning after 6 a.m. to me hosing vomit out of his flower pot and scrubbing cheese puffs out of the carpet. He made me pancakes as payment though, which was cool. Stress cleaning is too real. LMAOO. I bake when I'm stressed. Which is sort of okay, except I also lose my appetite when I'm stressed and I have nobody to eat all the cookies I end up with. I draw Homer Simpson's head on pretty much everything. It only takes a few seconds for me to draw a Homer. God, I wish you did graffiti in my area. There's a popular graffiti artist in Portland, OR, that does Bart with a speech bubble that says, "Eat pant." Having grown up in a toxic home where an abusive parent would negate anything you say or do on a whim because I said XXXXXY, not XXXXXY, and completely deny reality when you come 100% correct. I've gotten excellent at memorizing and transcribing conversations in almost a stenographer way. It means I'm excellent in big idea generating meetings, providing proper credit and ensuring no detail gets lost in the shuffle. It makes me great even when my job is chaotic. It feels like organized and I never forget anything. I've become important to my org because of it. I'm also strong at ensuring agreements don't get forgotten, either by accident or intentional. Turns out people hate this in relationships. My uncle had my verbal memory recall tested professionally when I was in my late teens and I was at a freakish 96%. As someone said, professionally incredible tool, socially it's a double-edged sword. I find it an absolute burdensome gift. Deleted. I've gotten very good at bouncing people out of my life. Life is too short for BS. Absolutely. The downside to this for me is that it's harder to make friends because I really don't put up with any BS I don't like. Edit. I don't mean I cut out friends because they make a single mistake. I mean if there's a persistent pattern of drama, disrespect, and so on. I cut out 2 of my closest friends during the pandemic, and I soon realized that they added so little to my life that their absence made no difference. Same thing with the job I recently quit. I realized that I didn't have to put up with the mean girl BS anymore. The older I get, the lower my tolerance for BS, stupidity, lack of communication, and general shitheadedness.